The following program is for mature audiences only. None of the information provided is intended to be medical or any other professional advice requiring licensing through any regulatory agency. It is for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Amy Satori. I'm an intuitive spiritual counselor assisting in raising the vibration of our planet. I was born with extraordinary gifts, experienced enlightenment for 6 months years ago, speak light language, and channel a being called Celeste, who is an ambassador for a Galactic Council of 60. I am able to scan your energy field for emotional blockages and talk to or aid in the healing of your organs using Qigong energy healing. I can also help you make decisions, talk to your pets, deceased loved ones, and your friends and family's higher selves. I can help you navigate your relationships and answer pressing questions in your life by talking with the unseen world. I use these skills I've developed to translate the images, feelings, impressions, and messages I'm given while tuning into you and your situation. I work Thursday through Saturday as a psychic for the Lighthouse Bookstore downtown Boulder, Colorado, and conduct remote readings all over the world. You can order a private reading from my website at amysatori.com. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow me here on Podbean, Instagram, my 1111 Twin Flame Forum on Facebook, and YouTube. Set a reminder in your phone to call live on the show any Sunday, 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, or 8:30 Eastern to ask me a question, receive a blessing, or have me do some energy work on you. So, my friends, without further ado, let's get to today's show. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening to the Satori Show. This week there's been a theme, and it is the season, but start thinking not so much about yourself and start thinking about those around you who are either in the same situation or are really, really, really all alone and maybe just lost someone or a pet, that they were really close to. And reach out to them. You can reach out for them too. Just think about what you can do for other people. And I thought I would just put this out there because I think it's pretty remarkable. But I've had this show going for, I think it's been going on like 2 years-ish. About a year ago, I started to, I mentioned donations being sent to me for PayPal because these shows are free, but you could always feel free to donate. I mentioned that I believe about once, maybe twice, but then I put my little PayPal address at the back of the video, at the end of this video, for when I'm closing the end of the show, you can see that you can donate, right? So I haven't really actively promoted it or anything, but how many of you have I talked to on every show, and how many minutes have I spent with you guys? And you're probably going to be shocked when I tell you this, but, I spend like $30 to $50 every week doing this for you guys out of pocket. And 2 people have made a donation. Two people were thoughtful enough to be like, wow, I really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you. And send money. And I believe that each of them sent $11, which was really sweet, really cute. Thank you. Thank you to those 2 people who've done that. But going forward, when I have the radio show and I'm having hundreds of thousands of people listening in every week, it's going to be, it's more taxing, and it's like an additional show. And so I'm weighing on whether or not to continue the Satori Show. And somebody made a good point of, well, if we call the radio show, then, we're competing against getting in and being able to talk to you against 111,000 people who are listening at any given time or whatever. But then I started thinking about the donations that were made, and I was like, you know what? I kind of feel unappreciated a little bit, just a little bit, And I know that I offer the free readings, but, it's like a tip. You give a tip to people that you appreciate and that you thank. You guys do send me really sweet notes and sweet letters, and that's really awesome. I just wanted to let you know, though, that's kind of a reality check, right, as to how we think. We're desperate for our own needs. We want what we want for us. And we're so tunnel vision on what we want that we don't appreciate those who are giving to us around us. So I just wanted to use this as an example to really just take a look around and look at anybody who might be in need. I'm not in need. I'm just saying. Look around at other people and their lives. Those people that you're talking to, those people who like pick up your daughter from school for you. Do something special for them. You know, don't take them for granted, those people who do special things for you. Take this time to really let them know that you really care about them. And, you know, I know that you're thinking of somebody you're taking advantage of. Maybe somebody you vent to all the time and tell your problems to all the time, or just a coworker who's always positive. Bring them cookies. You know, nothing has to cost any money either. You know, you could make them something, or give them a note and let them know what they mean, or send them a little email, or it doesn't even matter. You know, it doesn't even matter, but there's an exchange thing. There's a 6 of coins learning lesson here. You know, somebody's doing all of the giving and everyone else is like doing all the taking, or you're doing all the taking. And if it's lopsided like that, it's time to change that. It's time to turn that around, you guys. So we have a caller who got to miss that whole thing until she goes to listen to the show again. Let's see. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Amy. This
Who
is
made
Isabel.
This? Hi, Isabel. That was so funny. Could I tell everybody?
Yes, I was going crazy.
She's on WhatsApp, and she's like, the show's not working. The number's not working. And then I was like, it doesn't start for 45 minutes. A little while later, the number's not working. It's got to be the wrong number. And I was like, it doesn't start for another 15 minutes. I was like, Auntie Pants?
I couldn't wait no more.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, so I am more than happy to help you now that the show is in progress. And no, the number doesn't work if all of the lines are full or busy, you'll get a busy signal. Otherwise, if you call and it's not show hours, then it's not the right time. That's all. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to know, should I just leave Boulevard alone?
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, he's still like, I don't know, he doesn't want to talk to me or tell me how he feels. He's just like, I don't know, like no words come out. And I tried to talk to him today and he was like, oh, if you keep asking me, I'm just going to leave. And I'm like, really? You can't say not one thing?
So you guys talk on a regular basis, or do you work together, or what's the deal?
No, we talk sometimes. We see each other once a week, and it's only for like a couple of hours. And I try to tell him, like, I want him to come over my family's house for Christmas. Like, I want to be able to bring my boyfriend over, and he just like, he doesn't want to talk about it. So I'm
That's
just
weird.
Like, yeah, every time I try to bring up a conversation, it's just, he doesn't want to talk at all. He's like, oh, I'm going to leave if you're going to keep on.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think he needs to be cut off at this point, honestly. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but honestly, it's like some of these masculines, now again, this is not a sex thing, not a gender thing, but the masculines, sometimes they do their best thinking when you just completely cut them off. And I think this is the case with this guy. Like, because you're not doing anything wrong, you know, you're being really sweet and just wanting to, like, hey, can I introduce you to my family? Can we do some fun stuff? And he's like, get off my back, right? Now, I don't see the conversations that are going on between the two of you, but I would say if he wants to be alone, then leave him the heck alone. And I mean, really leave him alone. Like, do not call or talk to him or anything. Just leave him in silence. Because he will pull back and he will be thinking about everything that's gone on between you guys, and really they process so much better if you leave them alone and let them assess it on their own, if that makes sense. It's like they go in their cave and they do their best thinking, and they really get in touch with their intuition when you leave them completely alone. And it's like the feminines get really nervous that when they do that, they're going to lose this person. But that's what we need to work on as the feminines, is those abandonment issues. We need to pull back and say, something this extraordinary, of course it's not going anywhere. You guys, I've seen it so many times, and people hang on for 30, 40 years to this person that they have this special connection with. It's definitely not going to go anywhere. And I really do feel like they really do their best thinking. Somebody said one time, and I think it's true, that masculines fall in love through distance and feminines fall in love through cuddling and closeness. Now, there's a measure of that with both, but masculines really do need and appreciate space. So as much as you can just say, okay, fine, you've drawn your line, I'm just going to go have a good time. Then try to put your focus on you having just a good time through the season. I know that is so hard. It's so hard, but
I feel like I have to at this point because I'm so tired of this.
Yeah, and if he asks you, why did you pull away from me, you can say, you told me to talk to the hand, basically. What was I going to do? Anything that I try to do to be closer to you, or to, it's the holiday season. I've invited you to go to some things with me, and you seem like almost off-put by it. So I took that as a signal to just back the heck off. Am I wrong? Because if I'm wrong, please tell me. You don't want to have a misunderstanding either. So I don't ever assume anything. Don't read between the lines in a way. Especially if it's negative. But definitely, just let them know. Just it looks like you really need some space right now. I'm going to back off, and let them know you're going to do it, and then do that. And if he wants to talk about it, you guys can talk about it. But I really do feel like that's the best next move for you. Let me feel into him for just a minute, though. Hang on. Let me see if there's another message. He's just feeling a lot of pressure. I just feel like, this kind of has the feel to, how Valentine's Day comes around and the guy gets all this pressure to do things that they do in romantic comedies and, bring all these roses and chocolates. And it's like, they're always anticipating failure. They're anticipating that they're going to let you down somehow by whatever it is that they do. They can't ever be good enough because they've been with karmic people and they think that that's you.
Yeah.
So, he just feels like he is afraid. I did check to see if I feel like he's seeing anybody else, and I gotta know. So I just think that he's feeling the pressure. So maybe if you back off, maybe if you just let him, just respect his space for a bit, he might just, surprise you. But they do want this surprise too. They don't want you sitting there, tapping your toes, just being like, well, what, hands on your hips, like, hurry up, what are you going to do? And nobody likes to be treated like that.
Yeah. No, I was just like, after today, I was just like, that's it. I'm tired of it. He leaves stays here for 2 hours, and then that's it. I'm like, really? That's all I'm getting? It's like 2 hours? Is
it the same time every week? The same 2 hours?
I was like, he usually leaves my house by 3:00. So I was like thinking like he's seeing somebody else, but
right,
because I don't know what else to think anymore.
I don't think he is. I think it's just, is he an earth sign?
He's Scorpio.
Scorpio. He might have earth in him. He might have some earth in him because some of it feels stubborn.
Oh, he's very
and the best
stubborn.
Some of the best thing you can do with someone stubborn is to just give them silence and just give them space. Because then they will let their defenses down and they will just be like, oh, it's like the silence is deafening,
Yeah.
And then they can really think more clearly without the pressure. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was just if I ignore him, will it be it, but
nope. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. And he's going to realize that he's kind of shooting himself in the foot and that he's being silly, really. because you're not expecting anything. And it doesn't mean just because he goes to meet your family doesn't mean you guys are getting married necessarily. It just means that you're proud to show him off. You could even say he's a friend or whatever, So
when we were going out together, he took me to meet his family. But I know we're not like together like that. So I don't know why he doesn't want to meet my family, because we still like do stuff like we're together.
That's so crazy. I don't get it. Hang on a minute. Hang on.
Okay.
Well, it's a different thing. He's comfortable with his family. He's not comfortable with your family.
Yeah.
He's scared. He's just scared. He's insecure. He's like, what? Okay, so you guys are basically, and imagine this, twins reflecting each other. He has the same fear. He's afraid that if he goes to meet your family and he gets like that fateful, shake of the head, like, no, he's not the one for you, then he's going to be done. This is going to be the end of his time. Okay. So he's afraid that he's not going to be accepted by your family. Do you have an overbearing father or mother?
He's met
that you've told him about?
He's met both my parents. We went out together in high school, so he's known my family, well, my mother and my father, for a while. And my father loves him. He's always asking about him. And he's like, I know your father loves me. Yeah.
But, okay, he hasn't met, like, everybody, like, at a big thing. No.
Like, I have my cousin who I'm really close to, and that's the one he should be afraid to meet. She's very, like, overprotected with me.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So, you can tell him if you want, if you want to open up to me and tell me, like, if you're afraid of something, then, talk to me about it. We can talk this through. I can tell you, we can have a little pre-talk. I talked to someone last night, as you guys probably saw on Instagram, and they're meeting each other's families and stuff. And so they talked in the car on the way there. They were just like, okay, here comes my family, and here's what they're like, and here's what to expect, and here's who to avoid and what subjects to avoid. And it's like, you guys can act like a team on it. You guys can get together and kind of have a powwow beforehand and get ready to go, just like a regular football team would, or somebody else like that, a team, You could treat it that way. And then I just felt my masculine. That was like, whoa, it was like this crazy thing. I just channeled them for a second, and it made me like, whoa, that was weird. I don't know why you jumped in at that moment, but that kind of freaked me out for a second. I was like, hello? What are you doing here? So, so just propose that idea maybe. Just be like, we can face everything in life as a team. You don't have to hide anything from me. You can tell me insecurities, or you can tell me what's going on. That might piss him off. That might make him be like, I'm not.
Yeah, he's very like that. Like I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? You can't talk for nothing. I feel like his throat chakra is like locked. Nothing comes out of him. Right away, if I start talking about my feelings, he's like, oh, I'm going to leave. I'm like, really?
Oh my gosh.
That's serious.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like somebody, he's got a lot more growing to do before you guys can stabilize. At least you've got communication with him. That's cool. I mean, at least he's not ghosting you like the rest of these guys, but, so that's good. But I think you need to encourage him. I know some feminines who are in communication like you, who are encouraging the communication. They're the ones who are kind of like pulling them out of their protect their shell. They're pulling them out of their shell. They're like, it's okay, let's just talk heart to heart. Like here and there, try to introduce a little bit of a sensitive subject. Get him a little bit acclimated to talking about feelings. This may take a little while, but get him used to talking about his feelings and it being safe.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because he's very closed off when it comes to that. He wants to like joke around or something. I'm like, really?
Well, joking around's better than the badger,
Yeah.
But But I think that as long as you're being as authentic as you can be in communicating, exactly what you're thinking and feeling, and just be like, if you're not going to talk to me, then I don't know what else I can do, but just leave you space until you're ready to, have actual conversation,
Yeah.
sometime. And, you can even tell them, have you told them? Sometimes I wonder if you're seeing someone because you only talk to me for 2 hours a week.
Well, I told him, I was like, I was like, all you give me is 2 hours, and I'm like, how do you expect me to be? I'm like, you don't even tell me how you feel or nothing. He just cuts me off right there. Like, he doesn't want to hear it. Or if I say something like that, he'll be like, oh, you're overthinking.
Okay, so this isn't working for you.
Yeah.
So basically, there's no relationship that can work if only one person's being fulfilled in it. It has to be a compromise of what both people want. It's got to be satisfying to both of you, or it isn't worth anything. So if I were you, I would tell him, this is what I want. I want a relationship. I want this to happen, that to happen. I want there to be regular communication. I want for us to be able to just decide we want to go out for dinner and spontaneously just go somewhere, or just go hang out and play around and do whatever. It's like, I want it to be a lot more casual, not so structured, and whenever we want. And I want to be able to talk about feelings and stuff. I think we should be able to invite each other to things and not make it a big awkward thing. What?
I told him that today, and I think he just thinks I'm just saying it, like I'm not going to really do it. But I told him today, I was like, I want to be with somebody that I'm able to bring around to my family's house and spend the holidays with, not just see you once a week, and that's it for me.
So why did he think you're not going to follow through?
Because I've told him this before.
So, you told him that you were going to back off because of it. That's what he's not believing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So this time follow through.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I definitely am. I did it for 3 weeks, and I thought he was going to change, and he's still the same way.
Yeah. No, that's not going to cut it. I would take that as a no. I would take that as he's not ready now. I'm not even sure if I'd even hold out.
Okay.
I'd be done with that. I'd be done with that, because he needs time to think. He needs time to think on his own, and you just need to move on with your life, I think. Not to say that he couldn't show up later, but he's got some serious thinking to do. He cannot, and the thing is, if you keep giving to him while he's giving you next to nothing, he's just kind of stringing you along, then he is going to, why would he change? He's got no reason to change. He's getting everything that he wants, and just exactly as he wants it. But it's all, I started the show about this. I started the show about having equal give and take. Like, in any area of your life, if somebody's giving way too much and the other's giving way too little or nothing at all, there's got to be some balance. That's why so many masculines have balance in their cards right now, is because they know there's a huge deficit. they know they need to balance this out, but they can't learn these lessons when you're breathing down their neck about it. You know what I mean? So just walk away. Even date anybody else, entertain anyone else. And I know everybody's like, oh, but nobody's like him. But go have fun, have some distractions. It doesn't mean you have to have sex with everybody. In fact, I wouldn't with anyone. But but just go have some good, wholesome fun, girls and boys. Get out there and enjoy the holiday.
Hanging out and not dating, that's still the same thing, right? Even if I'm just hanging out, not really dating nobody. Like, I don't want him to feel like I'm waiting for him, because I'm not, but I just don't want to be dating now.
You can date or not date. It doesn't matter. I'm just opening you up to the possibility of being open to it. That's all.
Okay.
I know. It's like, you certainly don't want to settle for going on dates with people who just, that you're not going to be into. Just don't even waste your time. But If somebody really cool, if you meet somebody really cool who wants to take you out, I definitely would not say no to that. Okay. In the position you're in.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Amy.
Yes, you're welcome. Have a beautiful night. Thanks for calling.
You too.
Talk to you on WhatsApp later.
Okay.
Bye. Okay. Happy holidays. Yes.
Oh, hey. How are you? Hey, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Awesome. I had a couple. One's like a really good success story, and then one is one that I kind of need help with understanding what happened.
Okay, great.
Meditation.
I love sharing of the success story. So let's start with that.
I thought you'd.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I knew you'd want that one. So I did a lot of meditating, and I was talking with the archangels. I did a lot of meditating to learn who they are and make a connection with them, and I was connecting with my higher self and talking to them and just trying to get to know them. And so I was just kind of meditating on all the things I struggle with them, and I was asking for help. I was talking with Raphael about my health a lot, and the next day, so I got chills all over, and so I was like, this is good, this is going good, and the next day I went in for my normal treatment. I get IVs twice a week. I went into the doctor for my normal treatment, and I went in, and my favorite girl wasn't supposed to be there, and she was there, and
cool.
I find out, she was like, yeah, I wasn't supposed to come in, but I got called in because we got this new treatment, these new machines in, and they have a new treatment option now. There's like a whole new machine, and like I got to sign up for it, and I signed up immediately because I was like, this is Raphael. Oh my gosh, this is like the next day. I'm already getting this answer. And
that's awesome.
It was so cool. It's like the next day. It's just thrown in my face. It was really cool.
Well, let me just say real quick for, I was talking about, I don't know when I was talking about this. I think it was in the messages from Spirit that's about to come out. But some people are like, they don't want to believe in fairies or leprechauns or all of that. They're too logical, Maybe she's a masculine. Anyway, it's when you get proof like that. It's when you get, these cute little winks from the universe, or you actually hear them, or you actually see these really cool things that happen, that you start to gain more confidence in believing in those kinds of woo-woo ideas that are just kind of tough for the mainstream to put their heads around, So that's really cool.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Oh, let me just.
I couldn't even.
I got a little winter story from last winter that's kind of sweet. We were talking about I was talking to somebody about Archangel Michael and how powerful he is, and all you really have to do is like say Michael in an emergency or something. And last Christmas time, I had like a tire that lost air and stuff, and I'm not sure if I don't know. I've said this before somewhere, but I don't know where. Anyway, I had a tire go flat, and it was really late, and there was nobody around. And I go to this gas station, and there was this big black guy, real tall, looked like a football player or something, huge, scary huge, like tower. And he had a black cap, black clothing, and he had like a Suburban that was black. And I was like, whoa, hello. And he was the only one around, and he's a guy. So I was like, can you help me check my tire? And he came over and he helped. And I was like, thank you for not hurting me, big man. And then I said, he said, I think you'll have to go to a different place, though, to actually get the air, because we were able to check the tire and see that it was low, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, there's a gas station up about, a block or two up the street. So I was like, okay, well, thank you. And he told me how to do everything and whatever. So I went up the street and pulled over to go do it. And sure enough, he pulls up behind me. And I was like, whoa. And so he pops out of the car, and I said, what are you doing here? And he goes, I thought about it, and he said, if my daughter were in a situation like that, I would want a stranger to help her out. So he said, I just, I want to take care of you. So he pops out, he fills up the tire and does everything for me. And then he looks at me and has this like almost a jolly look on his face, a really cute little look on his face, and he winks. And I was like, what's your name? I'm getting ringing in my left ear, you guys. No kidding. I look at him and I say, what's your name? I at least have to know your name. And he smiles and he winks and he goes, Michael. And I got chills. My body just flushed with chills. And I was like, holy crap. Dude, that was Archangel Michael in human form.
Whoa.
Ringing louder
so cool.
in my ear. Michael is like screaming in my ear right now. This is so exciting.
Just throw it, slap in his face.
He's done it. You guys could look up, you could Google it. You could see lots of guys in battle. Thank you, Michael. Love you. He, like, if you look into battles and stuff, he has been known for, like, soldiers will call out his name just saying, Michael, and miracles happen, and soldiers are, like, arrive and save the day out of nowhere. Like, a stranger will do something to totally form some kind of miracle out of nowhere. And, I mean, there's so many stories of it, you guys. It's unreal. He's totally real. He's amazing. If you need his help, just call his name. So anyway, okay, let's proceed with your question. Sorry.
So check it out. My next story is about Archangel Michael, the one I need your help with. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I was doing like a body scan at one point in this meditation. It was a few nights ago, and so I was scanning up and down, and I see this like a dagger, kind of, I don't know, it's like a rod or dagger, like right above my left hip. And
this was
so
where?
I asked him to remove it.
Oh, in a meditation?
Yeah, in a meditation, I see it. And so I asked Archangel Michael to remove it for me, and he does. And it, like, the whole rest of the night, I didn't have any pain. Like, I was celebrating. I was, like, so thrilled. I couldn't believe, like, that worked. It worked. Mm-hmm. It went away. There's a big butt coming. So then the next night, about 24 hours later, it was back worse. So this is the same day I had the miracle with Raphael. This is the next day. That night, the pain was back worse. So have you heard of that? What had happened? Like, and it still hurts quite like worse than it did before. So I'm afraid to mess with it anymore because I don't understand.
Okay, first of all, I want you to put the pain on a scale of 1 to 10 right now. How much does it hurt right now?
At the moment, it's not too bad. It's like a 5.
Okay. Well, that's pretty bad. Okay.
Worse and better.
Okay, so here's what they do. Here's how that works. Pain isn't real, just so you know. It's all energetic. So what pain is it's your higher self's way of letting you know that you need to do something. There's always an emotional element underneath every physical pain. So when people tell me my elbow is hurting, my eye, I'm not seeing as well, or I have a pain in my back, first thing I do is feel into what the emotional blockage is. Always, 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 there's an emotional issue there that's causing the physical ailment. So what they'll do is increase the pain to get you to go in to talk to your higher self. Now, what you did is you asked the angels to heal it, and that's fine, but you may as well just stick a Band-Aid on it. And the angels wanted to build your faith, Michael particularly, thank you again. Michael wanted to build your faith by saying, look, you believe in me, and Michael is just a placebo. It could be anything. You could believe in a pill, or you could believe in stitches, or you could believe in doctors. Whatever you believe in, if you place your bet on it, then it's going to happen. And especially if you really believe that it can happen. You aligned with that belief system, and the angels basically reward, good job well done, right? And it disappeared. So the next day, they were trying to get you to reach. Reach further, reach deeper, look within yourself. Look for your own healing abilities.
Okay.
Find out what the emotional problem is underneath it rather than just asking for it to be taken away. Ask to learn the lesson, ask to know the lesson in it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to feel into it, and I'm going to find out what's going on there. And then you can learn from me, and then you can do it the next time for yourself, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm seeing when I try to tap into it is it's a dagger, but it feels like it used to be bluish, and now it's red. So when it was blue or looked like a normal dagger, then it was about communication and sharp communication. It reminds me of the Page of Swords. So it's like either a fear of, what is it? Was it on the left hip or the right? I think it's on the left.
Left.
Okay. So that's your, you have to look for all the hints and clues too. So that's your feminine side. And so in the left foot is the one you plant forward if you're throwing a pitch or something. So it's like there's some way that you're afraid of harsh communication coming in and kind of like taking away your stabilizing leg. So maybe you're afraid somebody's going to say something to you that's just going to shatter your world and basically kind of shake your foundation in a way. So as I feel into that, let's see. You just don't you feel like you're not strong enough to take criticism. It would be pretty easy for somebody to say something that would shake your faith and something you feel good about going forward in. So why go forward? So I think what they're encouraging you to do is to build up your resolution, build up your ability to feel strong emotionally, even if someone knocks you down or insults you or tells you that you're horrible or tells you you're undeserving or tells you that you're a piece of whatever. Or, just imagine the worst of criticism coming across your path and you just standing there going, oh, thanks for your opinion. I don't share that same opinion, but that's entertaining anyway. You know what I mean? Imagine being there and try to get there emotionally, and that's what's gonna fix your hip. So what I'm gonna do right now is tap into the feeling. I'm gonna ask Spirit if that was all you needed to know for this lesson, and then I get a yes. So I'm going to take that energy. I'm going to imagine that your hip is right here in front of me, and I'm going to remove the dagger. And now as I remove the dagger, what they're showing me is an indentation, and it's in the shape of the same dagger. So what an indentation, you can come up with your own codes with your own guidance, your own intuition, you come up with your own code with your guides. Mine have just told me that, and by told, I mean that I went through a process of saying, what does the indentation mean? And they're like, childhood. I got the word childhood or whatever, so just, I'm not acting like they went, when you see an indentation, it means that it's from a childhood issue. It didn't happen like that. It wasn't all grand, it was more like, what the heck does it mean when I see an indentation? And they're like, childhood, or they showed me a little kid or something, right? So somehow I've figured out that the indentation means that it goes way, way back to childhood. That's just their way of showing me particularly. So this goes back to when you were little. This is an issue that goes back to when you were little, and it's something where you took your power. Your parents or somebody was critical of you, and they took your power away, and you've never gotten it back. You've never been able to stand on your own 2 feet and just have that power back. So now is your time to do that. Now is your time to maybe watch my video on stepping into your power. That would be a really good one for you, if you haven't seen that yet. Okay. And then you start doing Byron Katie's work or doing some kind of emotional work that will help you to see things differently, see things from a different perspective or in a different light, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and talk to the energy or interact with the energy again. Okay, so I'm going to do a blessing to help you to come into your power.
Awesome.
And this will help everybody listening to also come into your power. Hamai salakino boy na hai. Ashikin salep imo. Hai makela isha satena. Aleki imo mokais. Sapa umbokopa ay lakritan sela. Halakita hashikat sema umoke. Hala anatsai. All right, so now I want you to move around and see how it feels, and put it on a scale of 1 to 10 again.
I'd say it's like a 2 now.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Spirit, because sometimes, especially issues that had the indentations, they take a little bit because it's like you've already built a belief around that being there. So sometimes to trick our minds, it can be like an instantaneous thing if you really believe. So it's kind of like me with my cast. Did you hear about all the healing that I just did on myself? I had like, well, I stubbed my toe and immediately healed it because I believed I could. And then I slammed my face, and it didn't even bruise at all. And that was because I immediately healed it. But I found out that I had a little bone break in my wrist, and all of a sudden then I was like, oh, I don't believe, you know? So what, in a case like that, if it's a long-standing condition or something you can't quite wrap your head around, what they'll do is they'll say, oh, it'll take 3 weeks. It's not actually true. It could be done instantaneously, but your belief system can't wrap your head around that being so fast. So
yeah, because it's so old.
Yeah. So since it's so old, and since I saw the indentation, I'm asking Spirit, like, how long do you think this will be till this is healed? And I'm getting like 5 minutes. You should feel the pain go away, and then it feels like it's going to radiate a little bit, kind of threaten to come back, and then be totally gone in 5 days.
Oh.
So
awesome.
Yeah, so that's how that works. And then, like, for me, with my wrist, I was like, what could I believe? What could I believe? Well, I believe that if it's a tiny enough bone, why couldn't, I don't know about how bones heal, so that's good to be naive in that way because it works in my advantage, right? It works to my advantage, and I thought I would buy that a bone would be healed in 5 days, you know? So then I started to work on healing it every day, and it's been about 5 days, and no more anything on my hands or arms or anything. I don't feel faith enough to really rank on something or do something hard. You know, I'm still careful with it, but that's how that works. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
So in about 5 minutes, you're not gonna feel it anymore, and then it's just gonna, you know, radiate back and forth, and in about 5 days it'll be gone. If it comes back, or something comes back, if any pain ever comes back, then that's just explore it just like I did, and you'll figure it out. But I'm sure that we're going to explore that. You and I have our sessions too, so we'll explore that further.
And I'm working really hard on doing this meditating, and I'm so glad I called you today because I was doing the opposite of what you were saying. I was afraid to try anymore because I was like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what happened. So, thank you so much. And by the way, you nailed everything you said. I didn't want to interrupt you, but everything you said was right on. So, just now.
Awesome. Yay.
So, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I'm glad you said that because it made me think of the sword having turned red. So red has to do with resentment and anger. So I would write down anything that happened in childhood that you resent or feel angry toward and do my exercise, thank you, God, for my misery. Write down what makes you really mad, like thank you, God, that my dad suppressed, you know, his feelings, or thank you, God, that I was treated like this, or thank you, God, that my parents, like, totally wouldn't let me have a voice, or whatever it was, and write 10 to 15 advantages or benefits as to why that's a really good thing. Okay?
Okay.
And that should take care of that.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Rena.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to hear your voice as always.
You too.
Thank you. I was just calling in. Nothing's changed physically, externally with my twin flame situation, but I've been doing, as you and I had chatted, some internal work, and I just called in to just share some personal breakthroughs I had in case it helps anyone who's listening, and then also to get your guidance if that's okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for doing that. And anybody who's listening, if you want to do something similar, I really love that. We're all here to help each other. So call me with good news too. And it's really encouraging for everyone else to hear. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So just for anyone who's listening, the short context of my situation is that I basically thought that my twin and I were very close to union. I thought we were there and he was going to say everything I wanted him to say. And then all of a sudden he backed off, and I didn't want there, Amy, you talked about things not being imbalanced, and I didn't want things to be an imbalance. So I straight up asked him, what was going on. And he basically told me he didn't want anything romantic with me. So, Amy, I know you and I had talked right after that, and I was in a really bad place. Like, I was spiraling and I was not doing well. And then since then, I've been trying to just kind of use that space and distance to do my own internal work. And I think what I realized is that, like you said, Amy, space is good. Like, they need space to do their work, but that also I need that space, because if we're not there yet, that means I have to do work too. And so I try to just be positive about that space. And I think what I realized is that the reason I was so unhappy is because I was depending so much on external circumstances for my happiness. And I had my own assumptions and my own expectations of how things should go with him. And it's just because my expectations and assumptions didn't play out the way I had thought they would, that was the reason where my unhappiness and disappointment was coming from. So I was trying to sort of see it as like, what if this is all part of the universe's plan to orchestrate things for me? And, intuitively, I know we're getting there, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like it. And what if I'm just patient enough, things can be better than I even imagined? And just how do I keep using this space to do my work to help get us there? But I just wanted to share that, but also get your guidance, Amy. Like, am I on the right track? Is there anything else coming through? Like, is this the lesson I was supposed to learn through this, or is there any other lesson that I could derive from this experience?
Yay!
I'm in a better, I think you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm in a better place, even though nothing has changed externally with my twin. I'm just feeling happier about everything.
This is proof, you guys, that this is why it's so important to get yourself happy despite any circumstances. This is why it's key. If you think about it, I watched this TED Talk like last week sometime, and it talked about, those are kind of entertaining, but this woman tried to prove that, everybody thinks that they're going to be happy when they're married, and they did all these tests that said that they weren't any happier when they were married, like years go by, they weren't any happier being married than they were single. She tried to prove all this stuff. And it depends on the situation, I don't know what kind of test she did, but it totally depends on the situation and the kind of person, the kind of love that you're married to. But I will say that the point is that what you bring into the relationship is the way that you see life, the way that you see things, right? So if you're thinking something out there outside of you, of another person or another circumstance, another job, another location, anything outside of you, if you're waiting for that to give you the fulfillment that you're looking for, you're always going to be doing that. So you're going to marry this guy. You guys will, if you're lucky enough to have that happen, even though you're not ready for it, then you might be in it. And then you'll find yourself saying, oh, honey, if only we were in a different location. Oh, honey, if only we were in a different workplace. Oh, honey, if only you wouldn't work so many hours. If only you would have sex with me every night. If only, and then it's the same exact energy as what you started out with. That's why it's so important we have the separation period and that you guys focus on personal growth. So that when you go into a relationship, if you can like hold your own weight emotionally. You're not going to be putting it all on them or putting it all on all these circumstances. You've got your own inner peace that you know how to cultivate. You know how to meditate. You know how to go within like you just did. And that's what's going to hold a relationship together is and not have this back and forth runner chaser dynamic go on for many, many years, is you guys are able to work as a team more, and you're able to really be mature and take a look at yourself in that situation and see that it's your ego that's striving for things to look different or be different in order for you to be fulfilled and happy, which is just an illusion. It's not true. So the answer would be for all of us to learn how to stay just completely happy, however, whatever your circumstance is. Change things that are toxic. If you have a bad job that makes you complain all the time, get away from that job, because you're cultivating negativity more. You're putting attention on all this negativity going to work every day at a job you can't stand. So go to another job that you'll enjoy more. If you don't get paid enough, go get a job that pays more, and just go toward that which you feel grateful for, and ignore or go away from the things that kind of suck you into feeling bad for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Amy, when we talked last time, there was something that you said to me that I think really made it click for me. It's, I was talking about, like, how do I not get hung up on my current reality? Like, I'm so affected by that. And you said, well, but our current reality is just an illusion anyway. And I think that's what made it click for me. I was like, right. So why am I obsessing over something that's just an illusion when I know intuitively the actual truth? So that was, thank you for that. That really helped me.
Yeah. And even like speaking, I did this on Instagram the other day too, talking about like speaking something into truth. Like I woke up this morning and I said, and I like felt like celebrating. I was like, yes, I'm so excited. My new life is beginning. And I've never done that before. But I woke up this morning saying that. Thank you so much that my new life is beginning. And I was like, well, where'd that come from? But I spoke it out loud, and I was genuinely excited and really happy, like it was Christmas morning, And that's what you do. And you can be like, imagine the best possible thing happening, whatever that is for you. It's going to be different for everybody. But imagine hearing the best news you could possibly hear in your life. And then imagining, like you're on the phone and you're getting this news, right? Imagine it hitting you in that moment. Like, what thoughts would run through your head? What's going to go through your head in that moment? What are you going to do with your place that you're living in? What are you going to plan? What are you going to, like, really think it through as if it just happened? And then live, like, from that standpoint. Does that make sense? Like you just found out it's happening. So what would you do? Well, you'd go around organizing your things, getting your stuff together. You would, get all your accounting in line. You would get ready to travel a lot. You would get ready to, relocate, whatever. Like start thinking from that standpoint as if it's already happened. And you'll start, and you're going to vibe with it. With people who are skeptical and they're thinking, that's ridiculous to think that you could be with a celebrity or something like that. Well, they're not going to manifest it. They may play around with the idea, and they may be like, "Oh, that would be kind of fun, or that would be kind of neat, or that would be quite the experience." But unless you're allowing your imagination to go there, and you feel quite comfortable with it, you're not going to manifest it because you're just not on the same page. You have to be of the same vibration of what you're attracting in. If you're thinking, I want to be a real estate tycoon, or I want to be like, own the Mizpah Theater in New York, or like whatever that is, it's like you have to, like, if you can imagine being there and being quite comfortable in those shoes and kind of like, this is old hat, that's the vibe you want to be at. Like grateful, but like, no big deal. That's what's gonna help you be in that vibe.
Yeah, and, I think in the summertime, I got to a really steady, high vibe, and I think that's what attracted him back into my reality, because we had been in separation for like a year and a half, and I think I was able to do it, but then I kind of let my vibration wobble again, where I just wasn't as stable, and I was so obsessing over just all the, like, 3D details and letting it bring me down, and I think that's how I manifested the instability in our physical relationship. And so I'm kind of trying to refocus and recenter and bring myself back to that, as you said, like that that matching vibration and just try to keep it there and not let it wobble.
Awesome. And one way you can do that is by using affirmations. So like every time that you go to think something negative, just repeat those affirmations over the top of it. It's almost like an eraser.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, Amy?
Yeah, but just keep your focus on your vibration rather than anything that you see in the physical world. What am I feeling right now?
How do I do that in the moment? How do I do that in the moment, Amy? So let's say I'm sitting right beside him and something's unfolding, like he's saying something to me in the physical that's making me unhappy. How can I try to not let that get to me in the moment?
Well, in the moment, to get you through that moment, one of the things that you can do is feel the aliveness in your body and climb like inside. So feel like your cells multiplying and feel your hand feeling really alive and just feel the energy of your body. Touch your leg, touch the table, like really climb into the moment and out of your head. Get out of your head and into a state of feeling. Once you are out of that circumstance and you're away from him, that's when you can just start rehearsing either your affirmations, or you can just be picturing living in the place that you want to live. If you're not happy where you're living, imagine being in a home with him and with the kids, or whatever, however you could the future. Like just pour yourself into that. Instead of like, problem, obstacle, try to be more. It's almost like be more in your imagination than you are in real life. Isn't that crazy?
Okay. Yep.
But you'll start to see it manifest that way too.
Yep. Okay. Thank you so much, Amy. That's super helpful. Is there any other guidance coming through for me, or I just wanted to make sure I'm working on the right thing?
They're saying patient faith.
Okay. Yep.
It's like knowing, I use this example a lot, I know, but like when you place an order on Amazon, you don't obsess over when it's happening.
Right.
You just know it's coming, and that you can go to the mailbox and be like, oh, there it is. I remember ordering that. That's how it's going to happen. You put it out there, it's coming, and you just kind of, you're surprised someday.
Yep. That is such a great analogy. Thank you so much, Amy. That's so helpful.
You are welcome. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hello?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. I was not planning to call. And I kept getting in my head, share a success story. And I'm like, no, I've called before. I'm not going to do that. So I went on to listen. And I'm like, since the beginning, been about success stories. And it's about, like the healing of the body, faith and trust. So I'm just listening to the stories. I'm like, what am I going to share? Because every time it changes. So it's in regard when to believe when something is real, and this, I've been sharing this with you, and when is something is fantastical, meaning like it seems like a movie, but it's actually real. So it's, this is nothing new for me. I've been on this road with dealing with the woo-woo for since the 1990s. And even then I deal with, and it's actually a good thing. It's good to have that discernment. Because I've been fooled, I've been misled, with intuition. But at the same time, I've been strong with it. I have a lot of, interesting stories besides the whole true love bit. As life goes by. So I'm dealing with this, not dealing with, I have to watch my word. I'm experiencing this really interesting true love story. And I'm seeing a lot of interesting signs and synchronicity. And when I talked to Amy, a month ago or whatever, I realized after playing with this true love story about since 2013, I'm going to stop dismissing this. I'm going to stop dismissing. Now, mind you, I'm playing with my divine masculine, my divine feminine. So I deal with the logical. I deal with the divine feminine that's totally open to everything, and deals with magic and the good of that, and also the wounded. And the more I get closer to this true love thing, really it's about love to self, right? The more the mind game play. So I said, okay, I'm going to just stop dismissing it, see what that's like,
Ooh.
When I keep doubting, right? Because, I do have that, like, you don't want to be lost in fantasy. But I already know that. So I'm like, okay, I already am aware about that. So let me just play about, let me stop dismissing it. And recently my true love said, soon I'm ready. And I was so mad at him. And I said, what? It's been like 6 years. What are you waiting for? And then I was like, you know what? If he came to me right now, I probably would have ran. So the truth is, I need a little more time. It's like that girl who said it to one call or two call ago. And I'm like, it's because I'm dealing with the part of me that's totally ready, and I deal with the part of me that, runs. So I'm, working on integrating all. So once I said stop missing it, I really know what I'm sharing, but the thing is, I've had really interesting, fantastical stories that come to play. Like I'll have, I was working with the mala bead, and I was in a sacred chamber process in New York, and I was praying for this particular bead because I had the wooden mala beads, and they kept breaking. And it was like 5 beads, and I'm like, it's getting expensive, but I couldn't afford the mala beads, the real strong one. So I'm praying in this meditation thing. Next thing I know, the lady next to me whispered in my ear, and she goes, I feel to give you this mala bead that I got from Tibet. Like, how the heck does she know? I'm praying about it.
Wow.
So it's and I know you've had that, and that a lot of callers have that. We have to remember that. Like, yes, sometimes
so true.
Sometimes I have believed things, and I found out wasn't legit. But I should not dismiss to the time that the magic does happen.
True.
So I have to. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that it doesn't matter what you believe. I mean, you could, geez, I don't know. You could believe your parent has 2 heads. I don't know. That's, that's physically not even true or something. It doesn't even matter what you believe. If you believe it and it makes you feel positive, then it's going to be attracting to you things that you want. So the whole key is to keep that positive vibration going. So if you know how to emotionally help yourself, like say you have, it's inevitable for every divine feminine to go through a major, major rejection by their masculine. I mean, for the twin flames anyway. So they'll fall flat on their face and go through it. But if you have the ability to lift yourself up out of that, that's all that matters. Because then you can choose a different course. You can say, okay, well, he slammed the door shut, so I'm going this other direction. Or it's like it doesn't even matter if you have anything happen. It doesn't even matter if it doesn't even work out. It's not about the end result. It's about how you take care of yourself. It's about how you pick yourself up again.
Right.
So believe whatever you want to. Believe whatever you want. If it's positive, don't believe things that are negative, because that just works against you. But believe positive things, whatever it takes. Whatever it is, doesn't matter.
Yeah, 'cause when I was in that meditation state, I was in a good energy. So it makes sense why keeping your energy in a good state, because it's going to happen, especially you said. And also, the emotional thing does make a difference. You have to deal with things. So it's good to be mindful of the emotion.
Yeah.
But so another quick, and another quick thought. Trying, keep that momentum. So I haven't heard from my guy. Well, we were kind of fighting at 5D. And I don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a moment. 'Cause we've been through this before. It's nothing new. Every day is different. And then yesterday, I got 2 messages back to back. And I'm like, even though we were like in a weird space, he gave such a beautiful message. It was like, 2 pictures of a dog together. And then it was like another image of where he said, you should be here. And I was just like, this is when...
In the 3D, he posted that.
In 3D, he posted it.
Yeah.
But my thing is, this is where I have to stop dismissing it. Because once I stopped dismissing it, I was looking at a lot of things that happened in the past. And I'm like, he wrote me something creative. And I was like, no, he didn't write me that. And I'm like, there's so many things that, and not just with true love, with a lot of different things that are fantastical in nature, that I dismissed it. So like you said, it had to do with that belief system. If I'm in that, and there's nothing wrong, it's good to be mindful of my doubting mind. But it's like, what are you not seeing? And you talked about the physical. My right eye has been like twitching a little bit. And I'm like, what is that? It's like, what are the things you're not wanting to see that's right there?
Very good. Yeah.
So that's it. I just wanted to share that.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, I was drawn to a card, drawn to 2 cards, actually. Stand up for what you believe and have confidence and claim your personal power. So, which is right along with what we just said, believe.
Right.
And then your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire and release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry. So there you go.
Makes sense. All righty. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Hey, Will, I'm getting to you. Long time no talk.
Hi there.
Will?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
how you doing? I heard you're doing good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down in my newfound place, my discovered and chosen place. So yeah, I had some real realizations about trauma this weekend, and have been through some of my life, but realizing that I've perpetuated on myself and put myself through it so many times. And I'm really looking for help in the 5D and from whatever guides and angels, and not in that being more than a realization, but really a life-changing change in way of being. So
what's the question, or what are you going through?
I guess.
Or do you want just generally want to know just what your guides are telling you right now?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Well, they're telling you to have confidence in whatever choice you make. Because it's like, I feel like they're trying to steer you down a path, and you're hesitating because there are too many options. But they're saying just go forward on any of it, and then you might make a course correction. But just confidently, you know what it reminds me of? Did you see Labyrinth?
No.
Oh, man. Okay, there's the Bog of Stench. These guys go through this Bog of Stench, and it smells really, really bad. It's like a swampy area, and they're trying to get to like a little island, and there's no way to get across. So they think they're stuck, and it smells really bad, so they want out of there really bad. And then it's like this creature like makes this sound and kind of calls for the rocks to come up, and they like run across. They go ahead on faith because they're in a hurry, and they start running across the rocks, and the rocks start appearing just before they step on them, some of them. So it's kind of like have faith that rock is going to rise up out of the water and hold you as you run across the water quickly to get to the other side. So I'm
Right.
being given that example, like just go forward. Do you know what this is pertaining to? Does this ring a bell?
Yes, I know that. Yes. Mhm.
So
Yes.
it just feels like go forward quickly and make decisions based on your intuition quickly. It's like you have two
Right.
choices in front of you, go left, and then another two choices, go right, and another two choices, go left. But think quick on your feet, and keep deciding
Right.
that way.
Right.
And
Got
it
it.
feels like it's getting you. You're getting through a. Let me think of where did I just. Okay, there. I have a collective love reading that I'm about to put up soon, and it's called Victorious Abundance or something like that.
Right.
If you get the oh my gosh, you guys, everybody needs to order the extended version of that collective reading. It's unbelievable. Like it's a little bit. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I was kind of shocked. It's like an hour long. It's like 45 minutes to an hour long. It's very long, but it has incredible guidance in there, and it talks about this. I think you're going through what's talked about in that video. So I would watch that. It's $11 to get the extended version, but you get a couple of light language blessings in that particular one. It's real long. It's got some great guidance, and it's helping the masculines like you shift through the dark. And there are more for those who are listening. Will is a divine masculine, which is up until this period, it's been pretty rare that they reach out, but I've seen it more and more in these last couple of weeks. So are my other reader friends. They are experiencing lots more masculines coming forward looking for guidance. So yay, Will, thank you. But you're going through it. You're going through it, and so just maybe get the guidance from that video because it is like 45 minutes to an hour about what you have coming for you that's going to, like, on the other side of the fear and uncertainty is a brand new life opening up for you. That's going to be incredible.
Right.
You're learning to trust your intuition right now and to act confidently accordingly.
Right.
Your own inner GPS. There's a book that's called something like that, like I don't know, inner GPS, following your own inner GPS or something. So do you have a specific question you want to ask? How's Daisy?
I get good reports. I've brought in a dog of my own down here in Crestone. So, yeah, that's been a big thing to bring in Georgie boy. And he's really helped to make me feel more complete during this period. So
I've always wanted to see Crestone. I might come out there and visit sometime.
Yeah, it's very high energy and well, it's high energy and yet also a big space and powerful place. So
and you have a place of your own now, right?
That I'm sharing.
Okay.
So with a great place and great housemates and able to do work remotely. Specifically money is one of my big concerns right now, and yet getting on the other side of that. So I look forward to checking out your website and
cool.
Ordering.
Well, watch out. I'll text you the reading when it comes out. It should be coming out really soon. I'll text you the collective reading because I also talk about money too in there. Right. There's also a messages from Spirit. I'm not sure which one because I recorded them both today, but I think in the messages from Spirit I actually talk about how to make more money energetically too. It's either in the collective reading that says Victorious Abundance, or it's in the other one that's talking about the messages from Spirit. But maybe watch both of those. They totally, like, your energy is totally aligned with my report. So congratulations. You've got some really great things coming.
Good to hear. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah. You're welcome. Nice to hear from you.
Okay. Talk to you again. Bye-bye. Thanks. Good night.
Okay. Okay, bye. Divine masculines are coming out, you guys. Very promising. Hello?
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 Hello? Are you
Can you hear
there?
me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. How are you?
I'm good. How about you? You've
Good.
got some positive insights to share. What a great night for positive insights. Or is that you?
I do?
No, that's not you. That's not you. But you can share some positive insights if you'd like. Go
I
ahead.
was actually hoping you would share them because I've had a very challenging day, and I remembered your radio show at the last minute, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to call in and
awesome. Okay.
let the universe do its thing.
So what's going on? What's up?
I think things are just transitioning for me. I'm moving into a new space. I've got friends that I kind of question their friendship in a way.
Okay.
I feel drained after I talk to them sometimes, but I get headaches a lot lately, and I don't know,
Okay.
But I feel, I'm a positive person. I do really put my best foot forward, so.
Are you wondering if maybe one of your friends is doing something to you energetically or something that's causing the headaches?
I think it's her energy.
Yeah, it is. Chaotic. It's too chaotic. Okay. Put it on a scale of 1 to 10. The pain.
The headache.
Yeah.
When I'm around her.
It only happens when you're around her? You don't have it now? You don't hurt now?
I got off the phone with her and I ate and I started feeling better. But I also noticed it the other day. This is very strange. I went out to eat and this homeless man passed by me and I put my shield up, okay? And I said, good, All of a sudden he circles back around me and comes and targets me. And he wasn't looking directly at me. He was looking to the side, right?
Yeah.
And I just knew, I got that headache again. I had it before he came, and I was wondering if was picking up that I was going to have that encounter. So I'm wondering if this is a sign for me.
Okay, let me feel into it. Hang on a minute. It just feels. It actually feels like this is weird. It feels as if you're growing too fast. You're ascending too fast. You were really high vibe. And it feels like the other side was trying to, it almost feels like there's an entity that flies into these various people's bodies to rattle you. That's interesting.
That's what I wanted to ask you, actually. But I didn't want to come out and say it.
Right, because it sounds crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it does feel like that. It's like this entity that goes into these various people to attack you or to catch you off guard or to, you know what?
Yeah, and my friend has it.
Okay. Yeah, you're coming into your power, and these people they're not self-aware enough to know what's going on, that they're being kind of temporarily possessed. But I'm going to find out. I'm going to ask your guides what you can do to protect yourself from this. But I feel like I can address it right now and tell it to go on its way. Let's think of. I say this in one of my videos coming out soon too. That you always want to turn energy into something else and something positive. So we're going to take this being and we're going to see if we can change it into butterflies. Because I've seen it. If you just release it, sometimes it'll go towards someone else, and you don't want that happening. So let me just see what we can do here. Hang on a minute.
Okay, perfect.
I'm going to try to interact with the being. Okay, I had to ask for a second. Because demons, if you say their name, it gives them more power. But this thing called itself the chaser. It was like, I'm the chaser. So it goes after people like you who are growing really fast in spurts. It's like the dark side trying to keep them back, keep them down. So let's see. He feels like, I guess the cool thing is he feels like that's just his job. He's almost apologetic, like, sorry, I was just told to do that. So it's not like it's evil or bad. It's just more snoopy, curious, and trying to, like, it would stick its foot out so you would trip kind of feeling. But what you're feeling energetically is you're really sensitive, so you are getting a headache from the energy of the entity. So I'm just going to see if it can go do something else, like maybe take on a new assignment or something. Let's see. He said yes. He said it would be my pleasure. He's actually quite nice. So weird. It's like a thief that's going like, I don't want to steal, but it's the only way I can make money right now. Sorry, you know? So let me see. I'm going to do a light language blessing. So just relax for a moment, and we'll see what insights I get when I do the language.
Yeah, I have another question too.
Ashilakene umokai. Askichanda tela tenima. Hamakitsa poko shonda tela krita tsena. Ha moko moke sai. Hapapo pomake nateta tela. Ashikipo momakensa sesena alakritanza e momokai. Ha mamake zanche. Halapopo mamai natela. Hariki itzantamo. Ashiki itzanatela. How mamai kenatela kri inzapo omoke. Okay, so I was talking, I don't know who their boss is, but I was talking to their boss, and they were like, you can't take away my worker. I need that worker. And I was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to step in his place? And I'm like, no, I have no interest in being that way. I don't want to do that. I have another mission. And he's just like, well, what are you going to do about it? So we were bargaining back and forth for a minute. And then he said, I was just like, people who will agree to do that are probably a dime a dozen. So, anyone else who would agree to that, I suppose, ask them to do it. So, and he was willing to do that if you would do a ceremony, light some kind of a candle and stake your claim. Like you have to claim your power back. Somehow you gave this entity permission to do this to you. So you need to, I'm trying to think of like in the hypnosis regressions that I do, I have a whole script on how to do that, but it's something along the lines of I break all contracts, oaths, and agreements from all past lives, all timelines, and all that. So you could Google it, like I break all oaths and vows and contracts. Just start with those words, and you'll probably come up with a thing to say, but light a candle and say this, and it's going to release you from what you've already agreed to. And be careful what you guys agree to. I mean, it can be subtle. It can be like, just watch your energy, you guys. Watch your energy. And a headache is a really good indicator that something's happened like that, especially if it just like appears out of nowhere. It oftentimes can be a psychic attack, and nothing can violate our free will. So somehow your fear of it happening kind of brought it on.
Yeah.
So there you go. What's your other question? I have to go real soon.
I keep getting experiences like this, so I'm wondering if this is like, am I supposed to be clearing these things in the future? Because I feel like that's coming for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like it's empowerment, and I feel like you're actually going to be doing this as a job, or like it's going to be incorporated in whatever you're going to be doing. It's kind of like you're going to be like a ghost chaser or something like that. Like go help people clear their homes or clear their own energy. They're saying that it's a empowerment. Remember the healer, the girl earlier that needed some healing? And the pain was increased until she figured out to go inside and talk to her higher self and figure out what the heck's going on underneath it. It's like that.
Yeah, I felt it. I just didn't want to, like, just be like, oh, I'm this person that does this. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to kind of confirm. So,
I've been there. I know what you mean.
Thank you. Thank you.
Going from a positive reinforcement animal trainer to an animal psychic or an animal communicator was kind of a, oh, okay.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, you're going to help a lot of people. And you got to be tough. So you should know about
the animal. The animal psychic.
Yeah.
I needed you like a year and a half ago.
You should know something about free will that's important for somebody like that's going to be doing the work that you're doing. Everybody has free will, and by being afraid of something, you actually give your free will away. You give it permission to do whatever it wants to you. So the key is to have a sense of humor or to stay neutral, but don't be afraid of anything.
Got it. Okay. I'll take that.
Okay.
In my book.
All right.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Yay. You too. Have a good night.
Yay. Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. So, yay, 6 minutes to spare, you guys, than our normal time. We usually go for about an hour and a half. So this is great. I'll take 6 minutes. That's great. So you guys have yourselves an incredible day, week, month, till I talk to you next time on the Satori Show.